Hey guys, in this video I will share all my projected probabilities for top 5 European soccer or football leagues for the weekend. English Premier League, Italian Serie A, Spanish La Liga, French League 1 and German Bundesliga. This is what you voted on my YouTube channel. I have created a poll where you could vote which league you want for the next week, and with 62% of votes, big 5 European leagues won for this weekend. And I will make all projections for this weekend, and I will also give you one best bet for Saturday and one best bet for Sunday. Okay, I received an email and the guy asked me if soccer is my main sport. Soccer is not my main sport. My main sport is baseball. Okay, but you can always go to my website where you can find one soccer bet or football bet each day. Okay, so right now I have Marseille. I'm doing the video on Friday. Right now Marseille is playing and they're leading. So right now I'm overall my soccer bets plus 21.42 units. And since I started betting one bet per day from soccer leagues, I'm plus 2.96 units, but this is much more important information. Yield plus 9.55% and small positive closing client value number. The yield will tell you what is your betting efficiency. So every time when you make a bet, let's say of 1,000 American dollars, what is your average return? So professional bettors, or the dream of every sports bettor, is around 10%. So if you can make 10% yield, you will be among top, I don't know, 0.01% of all bettors. Okay, in the long run, I'm talking, everything I talk is about long run. I'm never talk about short terms, because in the short run everything can be luck. Okay, so you can always go to my website. Even if I don't create a video, you can go to my website underdogchance.com, where you can find one soccer bet each day. Okay, but my main sport is baseball. This is where I made most money in my life, and this is the reason why I'm talking here. Okay, and this is where I have the most complex betting model and the best results in the past. I'm betting more on US sports, but once you understand the concepts and once you start using the numbers, you can beat any market if you put the work in. Okay, so I recommend that we start with the first league. And don't forget, I will give you all projections for all leagues. I will also give you one best bet for Saturday, one best bet for Sunday, and you can always go to my website underdogchance.com, where you can find one best soccer bet each day. So let's start with the first league. FC Köln against Borussia Dortmund. Based on my projections, there is tiny value with Borussia Dortmund, so maybe straight win. And as I said in previous video, if you watch my video, I'm looking for the number 0.1, 0.2, or even better 0.3. So this is too small value for me to take an action, but if I need to pick anything, I would go with Dortmund at 2.13. Okay, it's tiny value and Dortmund would be my play. Frankfurt against Union Berlin, even smaller value. I think the odds are pretty fair, and if I need to pick any game, any team, I would probably go with Union, either plus 0.5 or draw no bet. Okay, but I will stay away from this game. Okay, then we have Freiburg against Mainz. I think this is the first little bit better bet, and based on my projections, Freiburg will have more than 50% of chance to win this game. Bookmakers have them as a small, not small underdog, but the odds of plus 114 or 2.14, and because of that, I would take Freiburg in this game at 2.14. I think Freiburg is a small value. Leipzig against Bochum. Based on my projections, there is no value with Leipzig. Usually those bigger teams or rich teams are usually overrated when we talk about the prices on the market, and based on my projections, there is no value. Or if you want to take anything, I would probably go with Bochum plus 2. That means that they should not lose this game by 2 or more, and you can get this at 1.78. Of course, I will not bet this game, but if I need to pick anything based on my projections, there is definitely no value with Leipzig, and maybe tiny value with Bochum. Wolfsburg against Stuttgart. Based on my projections, there is small value with Wolfsburg, so you can take Wolfsburg. Also, Wolfsburg, we try to stay away from three-way games. So if there is a chance and if you can get some good odds, always take plus 0.5 or draft no bet for favorites. So I think this is the best option in this game. Wolfsburg at 1.79, but you're taking draft no bet. Werder against Borussia Mönchengladbach or Gladbach. Based on my projections, Gladbach should be at 2.15. Bookmakers have them at 2.61. Based on my projections, there is small value with Gladbach, and I would again take Gladbach draft no bet at 1.95. I think this is the biggest value. Okay, so if we go to the next game, Hertha Berlin against Hoffenheim, maybe small value with Hoffenheim. Again, you can get Hoffenheim again draft no bet at 1.81. Okay, then we have Schalke against Augsburg. I think this is probably the best bet this weekend in German Bundesliga, or one of the best, because we have Gladbach here, but this is also a good bet. Augsburg plus 0.5, so a bet is on Augsburg to not lose this game, and Augsburg plus 0.5, and you can get this at 1.93. I think this is probably one of the best bets. We have Gladbach and we have Augsburg. Okay, those are two best bets. Okay, for this weekend in Bundesliga. Okay, so let's go to English Premier League. Lots of great games to watch, maybe not for betting, but lots of great games to watch, lots of derbies, and I hope that you separate those two things. So the games that you can watch and the games you should bet, because betting is more like a market, and you should not select games first. You should always analyze all games and then bet only where you can find the value. But this is for another story, okay? And let's go to the games, and I will try to give you probabilities, and I hope you will make the best decision. So the first game, Arsenal against Tottenham. This is the first London derby. As you see, my projected numbers and bookmakers numbers are very similar, tiny value. So if I need to pick anything, I would maybe go with Tottenham plus 0.5, so they should not lose a game. But as I mentioned in previously, we're looking for much bigger number. This will show me where is the value, or where there is something you should not touch. So I wouldn't touch Arsenal in this game. If I need to pick anything, I would probably go with Tottenham to not lose this game. Okay, so I will simply leave this empty because there's not enough value. The same story with Bournemouth against Brentford. My projected odds and bookmakers odds are basically the same, so I will stay away. Crystal Palace against Chelsea. My projected numbers, bookmakers numbers are very similar. Also, as you see, with more popular leagues, the odds are more sharper and you will have much harder time to beat them. So if you bet smaller amount of money, I would say if you bet less than 1,000 American dollars per game, you should stay away from bigger leagues, because there's also bigger competition against other bettors. Bookmakers have lots of information. They have more people who work on these leagues to create algorithms, to create odds, and you should stay away from these leagues. I know this is hard because people love these games to watch and they love to bet, but this is why bookmakers are so rich, and this is the reason why so many bettors lose, because these leagues are hard to beat. Those leagues are not that easy, right? And as you see, the odds are pretty fair and you will not find a lots of edge. So let's move to the next game. Fulham against Newcastle. Small value with Newcastle. I don't know, you can try with risky Newcastle or maybe draft no bet, but this is tiny value, so I will just type Newcastle for those who wants to try 2.40 odds, but I would stay away from this game. Then we have Liverpool against Brighton. Based on my projections, Liverpool should be 1.33. Bookmakers have them at 1.41. Of course, I'm doing with Pinnacle odds. Those are the sharpest odds on the market. And based on these numbers, there is small value with Liverpool. If you can get better odds, even better. But I would stay away from this game too, because I'm trying to find odds above 1.5 or minus 200. Okay, I will type Liverpool because there is a value at 1.44 41. Okay, just a second. 41. Then we have Southampton against Everton. This is maybe the best bet for this weekend from English Premier League. If I need to pick anything, I would go with Everton plus 0.5, which means that they should not lose this game, and you can get them at 1.74. So if I need to pick any game from English Premier League with the odds above 1.5, I would go with Everton plus 0.5 at 1.74. Okay, then we have no value in West Ham against Wolves, and we have some value with Manchester City. I think they are a better team. They are better team against United, and at 1.38 there is some value, but I wouldn't take this because for very low odds. You can always go to my website where you can check what are the best bets each day based on my opinion, not based on my opinion, but based on numbers and selecting the games. But this is definitely not something I would take. But if I need to pick anything, I would go with Manchester City. And the last game, Aston Villa, as you see, there is basically no value, maybe small value with Aston Villa, but no value in this game. So I think the best bet from English Premier League for this weekend is Everton plus 0.5 at 1.74. Italian Serie A, also a lot of great games. The first game, Napoli against Torino. Based on my projections, Napoli should be much bigger favorite. So we have a value with Napoli at 1.61. I think this is pretty good price, and they should win this game at home. Inter Roma, based on my projections, Inter should be a favorite. They are favorite, but my projected odds are 1.82 on Inter. So if I need to pick anything, I would go with Inter at 2.08. Empoli against Milan. Based on my projections, Milan should be at 1.40, bookmakers 1.61. This is the value. As I mentioned, we are looking for the numbers 0.20, 0.30. The bigger the number, the bigger the value. So if I need to pick anything, I would go for Milan 1.61. Lazio Spezia, based on my projections, Lazio should be at 1.36, bookmakers 1.42, smaller value. So if I need to pick anything, I would go with Lazio 1.42. I think there is small value. Lecce Cremonese, very similar odds. My projected odds 2.01 or plus 101, bookmakers plus 112. So small, tiny value with Lecce. So if I need to pick anything, I would go with Lecce 2.12. But of course, these odds can change. So if the odds will drop, of course, you should not take it. If you can get better odds, even better. But this is not the best game to bet, at least based on these numbers. But if I need to pick anything, I would go with Lecce. Sampdoria Monza. Sampdoria is my favorite team. This is also the favorite team from my father. And they are not the same team as they were before, I don't know, 15 years ago, where Mancini was playing, Vialli, Seedorf, and they were really great team. But based on current numbers, they are tiny value in this game. Maybe Sampdoria draft no bet, or if you want to bet on this game, I would go with Sampdoria, maybe 2.39 with a little bit more risk. Sassuolo against Salernitana. This is one of better bets in this weekend, also in Italian league. So if I need to pick, I would go with Sassuolo 2.07. My projected odds at Sassuolo 1.70, or if you like, minus 143, bookmakers plus 107. So there is a value with Sassuolo. Atlanta Fiorentina, again, I would go with home team. Atlanta 2.06. So this is my recommended bet in this game. Again, Juventus Bologna. Juventus didn't won a game against Monza in the last weekend, so they will try to bounce back. They are struggling this season, but they are still big team. 1.54. I have them at 1.45, maybe small value with Juventus. So if I need to pick, I would go with 1.45. Of course, I'm not betting all these games. I'm just commenting games with projected probability. So I hope that these numbers will help you. I will select one bet for Saturday, one bet for Sunday. I will reveal those two bets at the end of the video. and you can always go to my website underdogchance.com and check these bets. Okay, so if I need to pick anything, I would go with Juve. Verona Udinese, this is basically same odds, my projected odds and bookmakers odds, so I will just put it here. So the best bet today in Serie A, I think, is Napoli at home against Torino. Torino is better team. Torino is good team, but Napoli is much better, and 1.61 seems as a value. Okay, friends, we have two possible bets in French league, but let's start with the first one. Strasbourg against Rennes. Based on my projections, maybe tiny value with Rennes if you take them, draft no bet or something like that, but I would definitely stay away. So that I don't want that there is a confusion. We should look at this number. So if this number is bigger, then there is some more value. If this number is very small, there is no value. So if I need to pick anything, I would go with Rennes, but number is very small, so I just put here 0. PSG against Nice, Paris Saint-Germain, no value. I hope you will not take a risk with Paris Saint-Germain, because I think odds are pretty fair, so I would stay away from this game. Lorient against Lille, based on my projections, small value with Lille. You can get them. Draft no bet. Draft no bet at 1.78. I think this is the best bet in this game. Then we have Ajaccio against Clermont. Based on my projections, small value with Clermont, and if I need to pick anything, I would go with Clermont plus 0.5 at 1.72. Auxerre Brest, based on my projections, there is no value, so I would stay away from this game. Toulouse against Montpellier, based on my projections, maybe small value with Montpellier, but as you see, I still give them 13.73% of chance to win this game. So if we take draw or Montpellier, this is still around 56-57% of chance. So nothing is sure is in these games. We're just looking at probabilities, and based on my projections, there is some value with Montpellier. And I would take, if I need to, Montpellier plus 0.5 at 1.99. And Troyes against Reims. Please forgive me if I say this name completely wrong, but this is France. So Troyes, Reims, no value. And Monaco against Nantes, based on my projections, there's no value again. And Lens, Lyon, also no value. As you see, bookmakers have pretty sharp odds on French league as well. So we found three potentially good bets: Lille, draft no bet, Clermont plus 0.5, and Montpellier from this weekend. Okay, we have now Spanish league. First game, Cadiz against Villarreal. Based on my projections, Villarreal should be at 1.50, bookmakers 1.65. Because of that, there is some value with Villarreal at 1.65. Getafe Valladolid, maybe tiny value with Getafe at home. If you can get them at draft no bet or something like that, or you can also try Getafe 2.42, but these odds are very close and very fair. Sevilla Atletico Madrid, I will just skip this one, only tiny value in this one. So if I need to pick anything, I would go with Atletico Madrid or draft or plus 0.5 or something like that, but not enough value. Mallorca Barcelona, the same. Barcelona, of course, better team, but my projected numbers and bookmakers numbers are basically the same, 1.35, 1.36. Because I use adjusted criterion value formula, there is small tiny value, but this is something you should stay away. Espanyol Valencia, based on my projections, maybe tiny value with Valencia. So if I need to pick anything, I would go probably with Valencia, maybe draft no bet or something like that, or plus 0.5. This would be my bet. Celta Vigo Betis, based on my projections, Betis number should be smaller, so there is some value with Betis, and I think the best bet in this game, it is plus 0.5 at 1.61. So Betis should not lose in Celta Vigo, against Celta Vigo. So this, I think this is the best bet. Girona Real Sociedad, based on my projections, Real Sociedad number should be a little bit lower. So you have Sociedad, draft no bet at 1.68. So this, I think, is the best bet from this game. Then we have Real Madrid against Osasuna. Real Madrid should win this one. Based on my projections, they should be at 1.16, so 1.16 there is a little bit bigger value. So of course, if I need to pick anything, I would go with 1.36 on Real. I will just correct this, 1.36 on Real. So and then the last game, this is for Monday, so I also made projections for the Monday. Rayo Vallecano against Elche. Based on my projections, maybe tiny value with Elche. If you take them plus 0.5, I think you can get them at 2.26 if I'm not wrong. Yes, so this is my recommended bet from this game. Okay, so that's all projections for all 5 games, and now I will show you one best bet for Saturday and one best bet for Sunday. So I think the best bet for Saturday is Napoli at 1.61 against Torino. They are playing at home. They might win the championship this season, and I would take Napoli at 1.61 at home on Saturday. And for Sunday, the best value bet I think is Sassuolo against Salernitana. I was thinking about Augsburg plus 0.5, or in French league Montpellier plus 0.5, or maybe Betis, but I think Sassuolo to win this game at home against Salernitana is another bet. Okay, so that's it for me today. You can always go to my website underdogchance.com, where I will post one soccer bet each day, and whatever you decide to take, I wish you good luck.